Mortgage rates are coming down, but the Fed is raising rates. What is going on?
It's not only surged to the highest levels,
has now climbed to 5.36%.
Mortgage rates are up.
The U.S. mortgage rates are tumbling, even after the Fed hiked its benchmark interest rate by 75 basis points in July. Everyone's saying, how's that possible? I thought rates are going up. Why are mortgage rates coming down? Super simply, when the Fed raises the Fed benchmark rate, it directly affects things like adjustable rate student loans, credit cards, things like that. It doesn't directly affect your mortgage interest rate. Mortgage rates are correlated to the 10-year Treasury. So there is a relation. As the Fed raises rates, mortgage rates typically do rise. But if there's a drastic decrease in demand for new loans, then you'll see rates start to come down, even against where the Fed is raising their rates, because it's in everyone's best interest for people to buy homes, to get mortgages. And so you'll see that rates start to come down, which is what it has started to do, which is a great sign for the housing market. And it's a great sign for people looking to buy and people looking to sell. Because remember, interest rates aren't just there for buyers to be able to afford homes. They're also there for sellers to be able to understand, what can their buyer actually afford? Can their buyer afford their house at this price, or are rates now so high that, look, 25% of my buyer pool now can no longer afford my house at my price, so I have to adjust my price down. When mortgage interest rates go up, buyers' monthly payments rise, and typically housing prices come down to meet buyers at the same par monthly payment. Big thing no one ever talks about, you don't live in your purchase price. The seller lives in the net number that they get after commissions, taxes, fees, payoff to the loan that they have to live there, and buyers live in the monthly payment. You don't live in a $600,000 house, you live in a $3,300 a month house. Now, the average rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage has dipped below 5% for the first time since early April. So now it's at 4.99%, which is huge news, because all the economists, all the market prognosticators at the beginning of the year, once rates started rising, were saying, oh, we're at 6% by the end of the year, we're at 7%, and now, summer slide. Are we going down a water slide of interest rates? If you had told anyone at the end of last year that rates were going to be at 4.99% for a standard 30-year fix and that people were going to be excited, everyone last year would have been like, what, are you crazy? But because that's a number that is coming down from a higher number where we were previously, oh, it's not so bad. It's just like gas prices.
Why is it so expensive?
Gas prices are so high, but if they come down 25 cents a gallon, everyone's like, whew, amazing. What that means is borrowing costs, the cost to borrow money to buy a home, sets the affordability ceiling for a lot of buyers. If costs are low, they can afford more. Costs are high, they can afford less, right? And that then means that housing sales are going to start to drop, which is what we've seen going through kind of the middle quarters of 2022. Borrowing costs being higher have given most buyers a lower ceiling that they can't break through because they can't afford it to go and get the houses that they want. So what are a lot of those buyers now doing? They're saying, you know what? If I can't afford to go and buy the house I thought I was going to be able to buy 3 months ago, I'm just going to do a renovation.
The new series, $1 Million Listing, Ryan's Renovation.
Screw it. So you know who's really, really benefiting from higher interest rates right now? It's not just the banks, because home loans are down. Volume is down. Refinances are all but dead right now. It's the general contracting business. Take my little brother, for example, in Boston. He got outbid house after house after house, and then once rates went through the roof, what did he say? I think I could do an addition on my house. We're not gonna move. I'm just gonna make my current house bigger because that's why they were moving in the first place. Put up a graphic right here of like a contractor with like a, I don't know, someone that looks like a contractor but with like money everywhere. Now it takes about 5 months for interest rate impacts to be fully reflected in traditional home price indexes, meaning that it's likely that we are not gonna see yet the full effect of recent rate spikes. okay, with the potential for even stronger slowing in coming months. The PR cycle, the market cycle, the data that we have today is typically about 5 months delayed. So that if rates do continue to go down and the housing market starts to regain steam going into the fall, we're not going to think that that's the case because the news is going to report what happened 5 months ago, which was higher rates, lower sales. Which is why we here at Serhant, our research department, the data we put out is market pulse data. So that's where we are, and that's why we're where we are. Now, where are we going? Good thing you asked that question, because as the CEO of the greatest real estate firm in the history of the known universe, and you're watching more Ryan Serhant, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, send it to all your friends. I'm gonna give you the answer. Now, the high uncertainty surrounding inflation and global volatility is gonna likely cause rates to remain variable, especially as the Fed attempts to navigate the current economic environment. They don't know what to do. They just know raise rates, lower rates, raise rates, lower rates. Should we raise them more? I don't know, but is that gonna crush the economy? So things are gonna remain volatile until greater economic indicators bring us a leveling out. Now, new listings, going back to real estate, are also down right now by about 8% compared to this time last year. And that's because homeowners may feel that they missed the market's peak and are now holding back listing because they're saying, oh, well, if I can't get what Bob got when he sold last July and his house was on fire and he got $10 million, then I'm not selling. And where am I gonna go? Because inventory is still low, and if I go buy, rates are so high. So I guess I'm just gonna stay, and where's our general contractor covered in money? Maybe I just renovate. Maybe. So with less homes on the market, due to the initial spike in rising interest rates, that's going to impact home appreciation going forward. The pullback in home price growth in June marked the strongest single month of slowing on record, dating back to at least the early 1970s. This is what people looked like in the 1970s. That's how long ago that was. And while this was the sharpest cooling, on record nationally, we would need 6 more months of this kind of deceleration for price growth to return to then long run averages. Meaning that things have to really, really slow down from where they are now to get to a point that would be called average from the 1970s. So right now, there still is an upswing in the home market. Rates are higher, yes, but buyers are still buying. Inventory is still low. People still need a place to live. 3 things to look out for in the next couple of months. Future rate hikes, employment, because if people start losing jobs, if the great resignation to go and work for yourself or change jobs actually becomes the great regret and jobs start getting laid off because people hired way too much post-COVID, that's gonna affect people's ability to buy homes, sell homes, and afford homes. And 3, we want to pay specific attention to student debt. Okay? Student debt and student loans, the numbers are astronomical. And if those students now can't afford to buy a home, and if they can't get a job because there are mass hiring freezes, we are going to run into something that could be very, very difficult starting in Q1 of 2023. All right, those are my thoughts here on the More Ryan Serhant channel. Let me know in the comments where you think rates are gonna go. And if you disagree with anything I just said, light it up, baby. And if you like this channel, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe. Let's go, baby. And let me know what you want me to talk about next. I am here for you guys. I love you all. See you next time.